Love Everlasting follows Joanne Peterson, who is trapped in an endless cycle of romance, and not in the normal way. See, every time she falls in love with somebody, she wakes up in a totally new world where she's being romanced by somebody new. And by the end of the first arc, she's gone through a million variations of this life. As we enter into the second arc, life is going pretty normally for her. She's a freewheeling college student. His name is Don. He really likes basketball, and he doesn't have a lot of other things he thinks about. But darn it, he likes that Joanne Peterson in her wild ways. Joanne figures, screw it, why not? He's the guy of this universe. She says she loves him, and she'll figure she'll wake up in some new wild scenario. It's not ending. See, usually after the big I love you, Joanne wakes up in a new world. But this story just kind of keeps going. The years keep passing by. Joan and Don keep acting like a married couple. Heck, Joan and Don even have some kids. What if this entire series was just in her head? What if Joan is an unfulfilled housewife? What if she's just bored and sad? What if she's depressed and this is the 60s and they don't know how to deal with that? What year is it, by the way? Why, it's 1963, which is strange because it keeps being 1963. Her and Don got married in 1963. She graduated in 1963. They got their home in 1963. The kids were born in 1963. Ignore. She eventually starts to live a semblance of a normal life. The years pass. Her kids grow up. They get married. And eventually they move her into a home. It's pretty miserable, but she meets a great guy named Ralph. Ralph is funny and quick-witted. They have a natural ease and chemistry with each other that's really hard to beat. And for the first time in this series, Joanne's actually in love with the guy. And they embrace, and it's actually quite lovely and heartwarming. Then boom! She wakes up in their new world. It wasn't Dawn! She was wrong! It was Ralph the whole time! I'm gonna be honest, I audibly jumped in excitement when this happened. The title of this arc was Too Hip for Love. I thought it was a pun because she was too cool for love. It's because they were old. This is maybe one of the meanest twist endings I've ever seen. She actually let her guard down and loved the guy for the first time. In the next universe she wakes up in, she murders the guy. She doesn't take it all that well, and she pledges to get deadly vengeance upon her mother. I didn't talk about that part in the first video, but very briefly, we don't know what's happening with Joan, but we do know that it's her mother that's doing this. At the moment of me making this video, I'm currently working on a best of the year list. I was fully intending to put this as my best comic of the year, but I'm dumb and I didn't realize that this actually came out last year. I actually didn't make videos last year, but for that hypothetical list that I would have made last year if I was doing this, I'm just going to put this series in my #1 spot. It's pretty good is what I'm saying. It's pretty darn good.